So for my disability, I was given a rollating walker, which was supposed to be a platform walker. And then I had severe rheumatoid arthritis in my left hand, and then I had a left lower extremity fracture as well. So personally for me, I really found it difficult to maneuver around campus and in my campus apartment because they really provided us with like limited floor space. So getting that walker in and out of areas was really difficult for me. Like I couldn't take the walker into the bathroom, which I technically would have needed the support. I really couldn't move very much throughout the hallways because they're so narrow. And then if I was going anywhere in the apartment, my roommates couldn't actually like pass by me because I would actually like take up the whole entire space for that area. So that was pretty negative for me. Also, getting into the apartment buildings was difficult because not only do they have two stairs to get into the apartments, but then one of the doors is like a push-pull door, and then the other door you actually like have to swipe and then turn a knob just to even open the door. And then, like I stated in the group video, I actually live up on the third floor, so I had to walk up 3 flights of stairs with only like supporting the walker with both hands because my left hand was taped, so I actually wasn't able to like really grip the walker very well. I did have some difficulty with the season because of the rain, the puddles, the mud, and all that. I didn't want to get the walker in that because then it would actually bring that into the apartment. So I didn't really know what to do. So I kind of just started like picking up to avoid those, which actually would throw off my balance a little bit. One positive aspect that I found out of this is that it really gave me like an eye-opening experience for like everything that we take for granted. Like every day I typically put my hair up. I wasn't able to put my hair up because I couldn't use fine motor skills in my left hand, so I wasn't able to actually like maneuver the hair tie off my wrist and everything. So dressing tasks, personal care tasks started to become more difficult. I also wanted to kind of change the way that I did things, so I kind of had to like be more aware of my surroundings. Like instead of constantly walking back and forth by grabbing one item, I actually like placed like a solid board over the seat of the walker so that way I could carry multiple items at a time, so that way I wasn't taking as many like movements back and forth to get what I wanted to a different area. My theory was cognitive theory, and this theory is based on human behavior and kind of like understanding your thought process, which is a little bit different from occupational adaptation because that is more about like adapting the environment and adapting the occupations to get better ones. So by understanding the thought process of like where I had to get the stuff and kind of like knowing like, did I want to take that many trips? No, I really didn't want to. So then I kind of adapted my my durable medical equipment so that way I was able to do what I wanted easier. I didn't really have any difficulties moving around campus and stuff like that because I do live on campus, so I didn't have to drive any vehicles. I was able just to walk. I did know that I had to be more consciously aware that I had to leave earlier because by the time that I got down the stairs in a safe manner, because the boot took up most of the stair, I realized that it was probably like another 5 minutes that it would take me to get from place to place, especially getting through the doorways and everything. I really didn't have much stairs because I wasn't that disabled because I did have the boot, so that's more of a normal disability that people assume. I think what stood out to people the most was when I taped my hand, I actually taped it in the hot pink tape, and that made it stand out a little bit more, so that's why I got a little bit more questions. I really didn't have any difficulties with meal prep besides actually like opening cans and stuff like that because I was only able to really use my right hand. I was able to use my left hand for supporting reasons, but I really didn't need to support it much when I was cooking my meal. I was able to eat my meal pretty well. I didn't have any difficulties there. I think the only other difficulty I did have was writing notes in class because I wasn't able to actually like support the paper the way that I used to. So I did find it very beneficial for me to have my computer in class. Even though I did type my notes slower, it was more beneficial that I could catch more things here and there. Other than that, I didn't have much difficulty moving around any of the other areas that I wasn't really in, and I had my public meal at Keuka Restaurant, and I go there about every week with my father because he always comes into town. So I knew the way that you had to get in there to be able to go down the ramp. So that was easier for me because I was already like consciously aware of that. But other than that, I did end up adapting my apartment a little bit. Like I stated that I adapted the actual durable medical equipment. I did end up adapting my like actual like floor because like my roommates would like throw their shoes to the side. So I ended up having like, hey, can you put those on the shoe rack so I can actually get my walker through the doorway? And then I also ended up doing my homework on the couch for most of the time because by the time that I got over into my little corner that I typically have my desk in, I wasn't able to like maneuver the walker very well. The only other difficulty that I had during this time was constantly folding up the walker to have it fit in Adele's car so we could actually go out on our community outings and buy stuff from Tops and stuff like that, because you would have to pack it up, get in the car, and then once you were out, then you would have to unpack it, unfold it, and all that. So that was kind of difficult for me as well.